Welcome back to Ash's Reality Recap. I'm Ashaman. This is American Idol Hollywood Week. Last night was the first night of Hollywood Week. There were 143 contestants heading into last night, and by the end of the night, there were 56. Now, 3 of those contestants have platinum tickets. They did not need to perform last night, but they will be performing tonight when we cut down to 24. The way that this worked last night, all 143 contestants were in the audience, and the judges randomly called up contestants that had to be prepared to sing a song in front of the judges with really some minor feedback, but no resolution until the very end of the episode, which we're not really sure how long of a day it was or multiple days. They really didn't tell us the length of time that the contestants had to go through and sing all of their songs. That being said, all the contestants had one shot to sing one song, but we had one contestant, Medea, I don't know how to pronounce her name, who got to sing 2 songs. The reason that she got to sing 2 songs is during the course of her first song, she kind of snapped at her pianist and said, "That's not the way we rehearsed it. Start it over." He started it over, and she snapped at him again, and basically in frustration said she was going to sing a cappella. Sang a cappella, got into a little bit of a spat with the judges. I mean, she just kind of butted head with the judges. Her and Luke didn't see eye to eye. She kind of snapped at him. Very unprofessional when you're trying to make a career for yourselves. Unless that was her thing. Like, that's the thing is, was it staged? Did she have this planned out where this is how she was going to stand out and be like, I'm a star? Well, it didn't work. It backfired. But production did what production needed to do. They went ahead and let her sing a second song, and she did okay with it. But even at the end of that, like, she did this weird twangy country thing into a British accent. It was just bizarre. But the reason I go into all of that is because of 143 contestants, we maybe have gotten to know, 30 or 40 of them at this point. So 30 or 40 contestants out of 143, we've gotten to know, like, their background, how they sing, what their drive for being a singer is, why they're on American Idol, the whole 9 yards. So that leaves about 100 contestants that we know nothing about. We don't know how they sound. We don't know how they look. We don't know anything about them. But production has done everything they can to make us aware that there's 146, contestants, and they were cutting 80 last night to get down to the 56. But I just don't understand how this show continues to run the angle that it runs, where they make you feel like these 3 judges are the ones that are making these decisions. Like, these 3 judges, Luke, Lionel, and Katie, episode in and episode out, are the ones up are listening to the music and giving the feedback and actually making a decision on who's going to be the next American Idol. Because a couple weeks ago, when I went in and I talked about the different rules, that production has for how to be a contestant and the whole 9 yards, you really started to see the puzzle coming together to where there are people in the background that are making the decisions for how the show goes. I don't feel that the judges make any of the decisions whatsoever about which contestants move on. Contestants go through multiple auditions before they even get in front of these judges. At that point, the production team, the producers, probably the music producers, have already decided who they got their eyes on, what talent they feel that they can work with in the future. So then they start to narrow down who they're going to film, who they're not going to film, what kind of questions they're going to ask, and they're really looking for those heartstring pullers, the ones that are really going to get the audience, us, to kind of be like, oh, I can relate to that person. I feel for them. And sometimes they go, far out there with some of the contestants, but still, there's some relatable ability there for us with the 40 or so contestants they show out of the 140 they make it to Hollywood Week. Whatever. The thing that bothers me is that of these 140, they go like Medea and they spend an extra 5 or 10 minutes on her because she just, got stage fright. Basically, she got stage fright. She made a fool of herself. And then after that, we spent another 10 minutes showing other contestants they got stage fright and just tripped up on their words, forgot their lyrics and all that stuff. Now, as a show, I feel that a show like this should be working on, trying to help these kids progress, build self-confidence, the whole 9 yards. You're not taking these individuals and you're putting their auditions and on to national media and allowing everybody to see it so their friends and even the people they don't know, because social media it's a harsh place sometimes. They show these people tripping up and they're like, all right, but get better, you can do it. And they're really just starting them off on the wrong foot because they're not really giving them the right message to say, hey, you tried your best. They basically are like, hey, look at this person. They screwed up and we're going to make fun of them for 5 minutes. And then we're going to hope that they go have a good career, a good future. That's not really how it works. There's bullies out there everywhere. And unfortunately, when you don't provide that individual with, good feedback, constructive criticism, they tend to walk away from the show and really just give it up because hey, you just showed on national TV that they got cold feet and they forgot the lyrics. Now they have no self-confidence in themselves. And it just, in my opinion, is kind of ignorant. All right. So of the 143, we get to know 40 of them. Of those 40 of them, how many, again, has production already decided are going to be in the 24th night? Because I truly don't feel like the judges have any say in any of this. They have some pretty good feedback here and there, but at the most part, throughout the season, we've seen where they got on tables and mooted each other. They've made fun of the contestants. They've gone out and danced with the contestants. They've just done some very off-the-cuff things that lead me to believe that they're not overly mature enough to be making the decisions on who the next American Idol is going to be. So somebody else is making that decision. They're feeding them the information. And because they're the face, the puppets of American Idol, we all tune in and be like, hey, I know these people. I can relate to these faces, the songs that they sang. But you've got to understand they're not making the decisions. They're probably not musically inclined enough to identify talent on the level of which talent needs to be identified for American Idol. I'm not saying they're bad people. They're fantastic people. They write fantastic songs. They have amazing messages in the songs that they write. But for American Idol, they're not the decision makers in the show. I'll say it. They're not the decision makers who decide who goes, from episode to episode or week to week. Somebody else is making that decision. And the judges are the ones that are sharing that information with us as a public because we can relate to them as individuals. We don't know who the production team is. We don't know anything about them or their backgrounds or who they are. So we're not relatable to them. So if they came out and they did the judging, we'd be like, yeah, so we don't know who you are. We don't care. But because, Katie, Luke, and Lionel tell us that Ziggy's going to be a star, we're all like, Ziggy's going to be a star. Or because they come out and tell us that, Medea, whatever her name is childish and needs to mature, we're all going to be like, oh, she's childish and needs to mature. And a slew of people are going to go out to her Facebook page and her social media, and they're going to type all their hatred in there, and it's just uncalled for, and it's unnecessary. Yes, she acted immature, but don't take away from her the fact that she actually got on the stage during auditions, and she got on the stage in front of these people, and she tried, which is what a lot of us don't do and wouldn't do and haven't done. So there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there that are very critical of people that have no confidence in themselves to do the same thing. So think about that before you go onto your keyboard and start typing hate to somebody. If you're not willing to get out there and try it for yourself, don't condemn somebody else for doing it in a place that you wouldn't have done it. And that is Ash's Reality Recap. We'll see you tomorrow where we recap the breakdown from 56 to 24 and find out who the production team is pushing into the top 24. Have a good one.